Hello, this is 6 Minutes English. I'm Nell.
And I'm Sam.
Sam, have you considered the future food much?
Well, I think in the future I might have a sandwich in about 30 minutes in the future.
Not quite what I meant. With the population of the world increasing along with the negative effects of climate change and other global issues, we might have to radically change our diets in the future.
Yes, I have heard about this. There are all sorts of development from growing artificial meat to developing insect-based food.
Tasty. Well, we'll look a little more at this topic shortly, but we start, as ever, with the question is food-based question. In which continent did tomatoes originate? Is it A, South America, B, Africa, or C, Asia? What do you think, Sam?
No idea. I'm going to say Africa, but that's a guess.
Okay, well, I will reveal the answer later in the program. On the recent edition of BBC Radio 4's food program, there was an interview with Dr. Mugange. She is a futurologist. A futurologist is someone who studies and predicts the way we will be living in the future. Her particular area of expertise is the subject of food. What two things does she say she thinks about?
As a food futurologist, I think about not just what we are going to be eating in the future, but why. Why that thing, why that trend, or will people suddenly latch into the food, that way of eating the food at a particular time. And when I work for large companies, that's what they want to know. There is an element of a hunch and then proving or disproving that hunch.
So what two things does she think about?
She said that as a food futurologist, she thinks about what we are going to be eating in the future and also why we will be eating the food.
Yes, in particular, she looks at why there are particular trends. A trend is what is popular now or what is becoming popular. For example, at the moment, there is a trend for eating less red meat.
She also looked at why people latch onto a particular trend. To latch onto here means to be very interested in something. So if you latch onto a particular food trend, you start to follow the trend. You might start eating the particular diets.
Information about future trend is very important for companies in the food business. How does she actually predict these trends?
She says she starts with a hunch. A hunch is a feeling you get when something is true. You don't have a real evidence, but your experience and knowledge makes you think you might be right.
Let's listen again.
As a food futurologist, I think about not just what we are going to be eating in the future, but why. Why that thing, why that trend, or will people suddenly latch into the food, that way of eating the food at a particular time. And when I work for large companies, that's what they want to know. There is an element of a hunch and then proving or disproving that hunch.
Dr. Gay goes on to talk about how on the subject of food there are restrictions. Why is that?
Food business, of course, has different restrictions around it because it's about safety. We are just think that the supply chain and the labeling laws are very stringent, especially in these countries that take longer to make an idea from just a concept that occurs around a table to an actual production facility labeled, branded, tested, marketed, and put on the shelves.
So why restrictions?
Well, it's about safety. We are ingesting food, which is a way of saying we are putting it in our bodies. It has to be safe.
It can be a long process of developing a new food, getting it into the shops because of the need to be safe, getting meet the laws of different countries. In the UK, she mentions that the food safety laws are very stringent. This means that the laws are very tough, very strict. Let's hear the tea again.
Food business, of course, has different restrictions around it because it's about safety. We are just think that the supply chain and the labeling laws are very stringent, especially in these countries that take longer to make an idea from just a concept that occurs around a table to an actual production facility labeled, branded, tested, marketed, and put on the shelves.
Right, well, before we review our vocabulary, let's get the answer to the question. In which continent did tomatoes originate? Is it A, South America, B, Africa, or C, Asia? Sam, what do you say?
I made a guess at Africa.
Well, I'm afraid that's not right. Congratulations though to everyone who said South America. Let's recap today's words and expressions.
Okay, well, we started with the word futurologist. This now can describe someone who studies and predicts the way we will be living in the future.
Then we had trend. This word can describe what is popular now and the way in which what is popular is changing. For example, now we are seeing a trend for eating less red meat in some parts of the world.
If you like change something, you become interested in it, associate yourself with it. We heard that people very quickly change to particular food trends.
Then there was hunch. A hunch is feeling about something you think might be true, even though you don't have real evidence for it. Ingesting something means taking it into the body, so eating or drinking it.
And finally, a stringent rule is a tough rule. A strict rule or law which is connection to food is designed to make sure it is safe and of suitable quality.
Okay, thank you Sam. That's all from 6 Minutes English. Goodbye.
Bye.